Over the past 2 years, people have had to adapt to the new normal. COVID-19 gripped the world and movement of people had to be restricted. But while the challenges differed throughout, there was a common denominator. Food security had to be prioritized and job security also needed to be maintained. Looking at these two factors, in this special episode, we tell you how asparagus has managed to cater for both. Asparagus is a vegetable grown in Namibia predominantly for the European market, but there's so much more to it. Stay tuned. Asparagus is a vegetable that is originally from Germany, but the Oshimbele farming project, spearheaded by Carlos Lerchundo, has managed to grow and process this sought-after vegetable too. The process of growing asparagus is complex and needs workers to place seeds one by one into the ground during the plowing stage.
Well, as said, here is the whole agricultural production takes place from the seed, because we plant the seeds by hand, one by one. All the plants that you can see in here have been planted one by one by a worker, just putting the seed, just covering with some soil, and we have treated them quite well just to become now, well, these plants that we have here. So once we harvest these asparagus, what we do, we take them to the factory, and there they are peeled, they are cut to a certain length, and then they are put in what is called an autoclave, that is like to cook them, a sterilizer, and then it is just ready for export.
But what makes the Namibian asparagus such a sought-after commodity in Europe, and are there enough locals working on the project?
I must say that the Namibian asparagus has a beautiful quality in terms of taste. It has much more taste than other competitors' countries, like maybe China or Peru, where the taste is much more flat. You know, Namibian asparagus has a very nice taste. So this is something that, well, is also making us very happy, you know, that we chose the right place. At the end of the day, for us, this is most important, okay? We have very, very little people, technical people from abroad, you know, that we brought with the technical expertise of asparagus, okay? So our aim is to build the capacity within the local people. You know, some people have studied you know, agronomics at UNAM or something, but some other people even, they started as a normal laborer, but they show themselves, you know, the will and the strength to learn, and we are training them about everything on asparagus, because they are our eyes on the field. So you cannot manage such a place with 2-3 people. No, you need all of us. We are a team, and we all need to work together, and you can only do it if the people learn, and this is our aim, to build the capacity here.
After the seeds are planted, the plant grows delicately, constantly being monitored by a weather station that checks on the temperature, atmospheric pressure, humidity, wind speed, and precipitation amounts. The seeds are planted in batches on a plantation at a tunda that spans over 200 hectares. 12 months later, after the first seeds are planted, they are almost ready for harvesting. However, they need to be cut down with spades first, whereas the leaves are given to local farmers who have been hit by the drought over the past few years. The farmers then feed their animals with them. The harvesting is then done every 6 months. Leonardo Munjompache lives close by and has been collecting plenty of the asparagus plant leaves. The animal loves it. After the plants are collected, a team of evaluators dig deep down to the roots of the asparagus to evaluate the possible shoots to expect during the harvesting period. Johannes Mongudi explained how this is done.
Shatu evaluator yerahmano irarakano okutala yems and we call them yems ubad sambuno yeah yems sambuno ubad sambuno atutala puini moinji atutala gucha shikeringa okamachua ningina kamachua omuna umu asaking walika mos tutala nomala kano guchano unje wasa opuna umu asa auko konge okay ngashimbuno shwa kokanga wamachua unje mbuno opuna umu these are the matured birds opuna over mature popunu usprout then noma sprout aninga kokanga asparagus ayen elalakano prisike gema dikok ininga usprout aizi ko bad ko mature then kaove kakale ka over then kaninga okasprout.
The shoots that are desired are the ones over here. Mongudi entails his assessment of the best possible harvest. After the evaluation is complete, the ground is disinfected with pesticide so that pests do not cause an infestation. Because of the large area to be covered, this tractor is used to spray the chemicals. Then, ridges are made with this tractor, covering the shoots completely with soil. During this time, it's imperative that moisture is retained in the soil. So, with the Etunda area being arid, pivot sprinklers are used to spray the soil. After 5 days, the shoots are ready and the harvesting starts. Mwala Stefanes, one of the general supervisors, explained what the desirable features are when harvesting the asparagus.
Mostly in these cases we are speaking about the one that we throw down here, and these are the damaged one. It could be the most important when it comes to water asparagus. Here we are speaking about the head. When the head, no matter how small it is to be damaged, that means that it's no more going to be used. For example, on the other side, there could be sometimes that you miss up during, for example, there is this morning afternoon harvest, and tomorrow when you come back again, then they will turn up green. There are some green tips that we can use, but there are some green tips that we cannot use anymore, because this time we are referring to the white one but not the green one. These are quite good. The quality is very good. Close-set head, very big enough, and they are straight. And you see, even though you can see some small bend here, we can still use it. But this is what we throw away. You can see here, it was good enough, but here is the damaged head. Therefore, we are no more going to use it, because what is important is this closed head. And then we have some small one, the thin one. Here you can see the open heads. Here, that means that here we need somebody who understands what is harvesting. This is why they sort them like this. The good one, they keep it on one side, and the one that they think if they throw it away, then they keep it on the other side. This would make it easy for the people that are putting in the crate. When they come there, there's no need to identify which one they don't use and which one they use. They just quickly took this one, then this one, they're gonna throw it away. In most cases, this one can happen when it's too hot. When the weather is too hot, then the head, the tip, it will be cooked, or we can have an open head like this. This is what we don't want. That's why we use the pivot. The pivot, the aim is to cool down the soil. The top layer get hard, then asparagus in there, they will get bent. You know, therefore we can cool down the top layer to make sure that the asparagus that is coming out must be straight and must have a close-set head.
The harvesting process employs over 200 people who harvest every day. They use this sharp tool and cut the root, ultimately fixing the soil again with a building shovel. This is done to make sure that moisture is maintained even after the harvest. Time for a quick break, but when we come back, we find out what happens at all the harvested asparagus and how it is prepared. All that and more coming up. After the asparagus is harvested, the plants are brought to this pre-select area where they are cleaned and sorted. Then they are brought to this state-of-the-art factory in Shifo for further processing. Here, the asparagus is first peeled before it goes down the production line. Quality assurance is paramount. The whole production has employees sorting, weighing and packing the asparagus in different cans and bottles according to their specifications. When sorting is done, asparagus is pre-cooked with a steam in a blancher. Thereafter, the cans and bottles are sealed. The sealing process is seamless with this machine. The products are then put in this device called the autoclave, where, with high water pressure at around about 120 degrees Celsius, the final cooking and disinfection of the product takes place. The machine here is closed because it's in operation, but this is what happens inside. Ultimately, the merchandise is labeled according to the batches. If you look closely, you will see the bottles are labeled by this laser printer. This is done to make the traceability of the asparagus easier. But is there anything that could go wrong? Esther Mwandi deals with a different kind of logistics in the value chain and explains her role.
My job entails things such as looking at the physical and the chemical characteristics of the asparagus. When we talk about the chemical characteristics, we're talking about the pH, the salt, the Brix, and then when we talk about the physical characteristics, we are simply talking about the weight, the number of the fruits in the formats, whether the asparagus is firm, does it have flowers, and many other things. It is quality control, but when we also look at the microbiological aspects, are the products free of microorganisms? That's what we look at. Here in the lab, we look at the quality of the asparagus. We don't want microorganisms to end up in the asparagus and other foreign matters. So basically to handle with the asparagus with care.
If you get your hands on some asparagus in the near future, here are some tips how you can prepare it. Start by peeling the asparagus, then put it in a pot and boil it with a pinch of salt and sugar added to the water. 15 minutes later, it's done and ready to serve. By the way, asparagus is more than just a tasty vegetable. It has several health benefits as well. It's low on calories and a great source of nutrients including fiber, folate, and vitamins A, C, and K. Additionally, eating asparagus has a number of potential health benefits, including weight loss, improved digestion, healthy pregnancy outcome, and lower blood pressure. Omusati Governor Ergenius Enjala is full of praise for the asparagus plantation and calls on other agro-processing plants to be set up in the region.
You know, asparagus mostly in Namibia is a new concept, and therefore it's not everybody really have the whole understanding of what is asparagus all about. Some of them, they see it as just a normal plant, while for us we see it as a black diamond. Because what happened is that if you go on the economic of scale, it have really created a lot of opportunities, not only for the people of Umsati, but for the country as a whole. Because in the current moment, we are now able to export the final product that is carrying the name of Namibia in the international market. And secondly is that we are now currently open up an opportunity for industrialization, because agro-processing industries in the world is the biggest creator of employment. And we have now to start looking at when commodities like diamonds and all others are not performing well, we have to go now to agriculture, because it's a well-known factor that after COVID-19, the industries that are doing much better is agriculture. And therefore, for us, asparagus really in the region is become as a game changer. Just immediately after I was appointed, my first statement, and that was a commitment, is to say, if one day the agro-processing revolution have to start in Namibia, Umsati will be the first, and definitely we are the first. And therefore, asparagus is just one. We are also envisaged now to have a tomato processing plant also that we are also looking forward to add to what we have. And other industries, of course, yes, everything, is a process. It's not something that can happen today, tomorrow, because you must then find correct investment for it to, to realize. But of course, we went even further to realize that actually we were only concentrating more on the food production in terms of human. But now we are looking at, maybe we have also to come up now with fodder bank, because when the rain is not raining properly and we did not have food for our animals, it would be rather good if you could have created also a certain industries that can support our meat industry.
The Unkolonkati Traditional Authority representative was equally happy because over 800 people employed in the area is a huge number, says Lekis Daniel.
We benefit from this project because I said we benefited or we're still benefiting from it. First of all, they have employed our young people who were not even having work. So now about 860 around there people they have employed. Among those there's temporary and permanent people who are employed in Asparagus company. This for Chimbere. During September, October, the grass, all our grass in the area used to be finished. So whenever they harvesting their asparagus, now that wheat they don't want to throw it away or burn it, because those days at the beginning they were burn it. Then we suggest that no, they must not burn, just give to the people to go and feed their animals. So they accept. Then from there we start since 2017 when they came here. Then 2018 there when they are harvesting, we start to collect those cuttings from asparagus to go and feed our animals.
The Oshimbele Agriculture Asparagus Project has thrived against all odds in one of the toughest regions in sub-Saharan Africa. They employ over 800 people between the plantation and the factory and will soon be bringing their products to Namibians. The asparagus plantation in Namibia has been a blessing to the locals and the economy.